Hello and welcome to this edition of Joe News Interactive with me, Benis Abu Baid. Now, the president earns 22,809 cedis per month, but some CEOs of state institutions earn thrice that amount per month. The finance ministry wants to change that. We'll be talking about that here on JN9, and our usual Wednesday tech trends will feature. Today, we focus on the good, bad and ugly of Apple's latest iOS 11. There's more here, plus our video of the day. You don't want to go away. Get onto Facebook. Our name is Joe News on TV, and you'll find all that you need to know about what we are discussing today. And do well to leave your comments there. So like I mentioned earlier, President Akufo-Addo takes home 22,809 Ghana cedis every month, and some CEOs of state-owned enterprises take as much as 68,000 a month. That's thrice what the president earns. Well, the government wants to change that. The finance ministry is pushing for a scheme to make it impossible for any CEO of a state-owned enterprise, impossible is the word, to earn more than the president. Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia he's also been talking about the current salary levels, which he says are not in conformity with productivity. Let's hear your messages on this particular issue that's trending on social media. And David Nukunu says CEOs earn more than the president is actually asking, and laughing says these people do not have respect for the president. It's not good at all, says the president taking care of 10 regions. And how many regions do CEOs take care of? Is it just not a sector, he's asking. But sometimes the sector, he oversees branches of that particular sector in various regions. I hope you get what I mean. But Khalil Maestro says, you know what, thank God they've now realized, but they should also know that bribery and corruption is going to be, he thinks, on the rise because of this intervention, and also the CEOs may create and steal as a result. Idrisu Harris Kunate says, I strongly support the move by the finance minister. The reason why state-owned CEOs should earn more, the president, they should explain to us. Let's move away from that. MP for Korle Klottey, Dr. Zanetta Rawlings, says it's high time Ghanaian universities considered including, Ghanaian languages as a minor in terms of what you have to study in university as a core subject. Now, according to her, making local language part of the minor courses in the university will encourage and get more people interested in learning more about their local language. You know, there's been a lot of debate about this, and even here I can tell you earlier today in our newsroom there was a lot of debate about this and about the fact that, you know, there's even this initiative by government to start teaching pupils in their mother tongue, and there was a lot of argument. What language are you going to choose? For example, you have about 5 people or 5 different languages spoken by people in a class. Which one would you decide to go with? But Efo Davos sighs and says it's never her fault. She thinks that after she was sent abroad to study at the expense of the poor Ghanaian taxpayers' money, well, she can't talk rubbish. If I don't know what you mean by abroad, but I know that she went to Wesley Girls Senior High School. There are 5 replies to that. Let's pick that quickly and see what people think about Efo Davos' comments on that suggestion from MP for Korle Klottey. Zanetta Rawlings says, what's your problem, Mr. Man? Why will you blame her when she didn't advise? Oh, okay, that's quite harsh. Well, Efo Davos, honestly, Zanetta went to Wesley Girls High School. I think that's what you should know. Let's pick more comments on this. About this issue, like I mentioned, that even got my newsroom quite divided. Adoma Bafwa says, I can see you mean something good. These hypocrites have blindfolded us for long. If you speak to a child in a different language, it goes into his ear, but with a local language, it goes straight into his heart. Darlington Selassie Kumako thinks this is quite funny. Well, my wish is that those era I used to beat her up at the Air Force station. Oh, okay. He's just wondering. I don't get Darlington's message, unfortunately. I don't know if you do. But Oting Amponsa Enoch says, we need to reach a consensus as a country and select one language to become a substitute for English. Without that, no amount of local language usage can make a change. Seth Adenim Boating says, but you made this suggestion in a foreign language. Kofi Owusu-Bediako says, and of what benefit would that be to us when English is English our national language? I don't know. Apana Charles says, at least it's good. We should have both local languages so that a language barrier would reduce. Okay, you mean both English and the local language. And Sawusu says, I believe in Ghana, but he thinks this is unnecessary. David Kofi Kwashi says, was a local language compulsory at the Ghana International School? All right, okay. And Ramat Yarik says, can her daughter speak Ewe entry, please? And Asante Boateng says, I'm loving this woman day in and day out. Let's move on from this. I'm sure, like I said, this debate will go on and on until we decide as a nation what we want to do in terms of dealing with this. But businessman Alfred Woyome has made an appeal to government to protect his human rights hours after some military men reportedly besieged his Tresako residence over the 51.2 million Ghana cedi wrongfully paid him. Mr. Woyome says his situation presents President Akufo-Addo an opportunity to live up to his much-touted human rights credentials. He spoke to my colleague MFR Peo, and we posted that particular video on Facebook. Let's see, we've had about 62,000 views and a lot of comments there. Letitia Drumo says, protect human what? Well, she's asking him, did you think of the right of Ghanaians when you were feuding Mother Ghana? Keep quiet and suffer, all right? 16 replies to that. Justice Obed says, contact those he shared the money with, and says we need it for free SHS. And Asaliga Clement says, in fact, this man is powerful and he still keeps the money up to date despite all the pressure. If you even escape from the people of Ghana, God will ask you for it. And Karima Sama says, oh, Woyome, you see your life now? Your level has changed. Bring a cash and you have whatever right you deserve. Simple. Richard Sparks says, in other news, a hungry poor man steals a tuber of yam and he's sentenced to 10 years in jail. Another man in suit, referring to Woyome, uses his intelligence to defraud a whole nation, and he's being pampered like a king. Why? Well, he thinks it's because he's a political figure, and he's even got the guts to tell the president what to do. Says, Lord, have mercy. Can we pick the 5 replies to Richard Sparks' comment? It's actually 6. Morrison Clue says, has he robbed the Bank of Ghana? Was he not paid? Have you ever thought of the people who paid the money into his account and the purpose? He's asking if they were not in the right senses when they paid the money. Says, you know what? Blame your leaders instead. Kofi Siao says, Morrison, say blame the NDC people, all right? Anthony Adams says, my friend, what's the difference? I live in a developed world, and let me tell you, if anyone inflates prices to steal from the state, all your human right privileges is gone. Bye. So please stop defending him. And well, they go on and on. And Gloria Kwenu comes in. But let's pick Kwame Lord's comment. He says, I'm sure he's wondering why all of this is happening and why it's being said there. All right, so you're watching Joe News Interactive with me, Benis Abubedu.